That's right. It's a show about all things, mostly Star Wars things.
Mostly Star Wars things.
And
where's Dustin?
There we go.
There he goes.
Dustin's here with us again through the magic of cyberspace.
Yep.
Are you on the Falcon?
He is.
I am in the Falcon.
Are you inside of our Falcon?
Maybe.
What?
How'd you do that?
Yes, I am.
Oh my goodness, my brain is exploding.
Give the people a wave.
It's TARDIS technology. It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah. It's bigger on the inside.
Epic. Well,
yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight, all you people out there on the interwebs. This is a podcast video show called Stay on Target.
Stay on Target.
And we're excited. You're here with us. We're excited to be here talking about Mando.
Yeah.
Season 2, Episode 3, but it's Chapter 11, The
Yeah.
Heiress. Get all those numbers right.
Yes.
Get those numbers right. We got to confuse the people.
Oh, we confuse them all right.
Yeah. Woo!
Last time we were reaching through the screen and
Yeah,
doing
but
all
this
kinds
time
of-
it's
now we're normal.
Whoa! Look at how long my arm is.
and Dustin can't do it.
Check that out.
He's inside the Falcon.
If I just shake the Millennium Falcon shakes, that'd be pretty funny.
That
That would
be
be
amazing,
great.
actually. The rumble,
Just falls apart. All that hard work, Dustin,
the rumble
gone
pack.
down the drain.
Right?
The rumble pack. Wow, that's taking me back.
Oh, that's going way back to
Way
64
back.
days.
Yes.
Yeah, these names though are for the season. It's like season 2, but we're still calling it chapter 11.
Yeah.
the Heiress. It's like, what name? Even like on YouTube, it's like, what name do I search?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Cover them all, baby. Cover them all.
You have to. Yeah, we don't even know where we're at, but it's fun.
Nobody
And
knows
this
where we're
episode-
at.
Tell the
What?
reference, the Heiress. We don't want to give anything away. No spoilers.
Okay, we're not into
No,
spoilers yet.
We
spoilers.
will talk about it in spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll see the thing at the top of the screen that says spoiler alert.
Yeah, you'll see it right there. Blink spoiler. All you people listening in the podcast
Right there.
won't see it, but we'll
It'll be-
tell
Well-
you audibly.
Yeah. Or we won't, and you'll have to figure it out for yourself. That's just the
Yeah.
way the game is played.
That's for sure. And if you're out there live listening and watching, if you want to shoot in a comment or ask a question, we released a bunch of videos this week, and we got a lot of traffic on the site. So if you're checking us out for the first time, feel free to comment in, give us your thoughts on the show this week, on the Heiress, and or anything Mando, or anything Star Wars,
Yeah.
or anything else.
Anything
really.
else?
So
All things, but mostly Star Wars.
but mostly Star Wars things.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think we're going to jump into non-spoilers, but first you want to show
Yes.
that Falcon build?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
So we released a video.
Yes, we
Took
did.
us, I don't know, 24 hours or so, give or take,
Yeah, give or take.
to actually build it.
Yeah.
And
Took a while.
yeah, so finally that full time-lapse video dropped this week. And
Yep.
so we're going to give you, it's about a 10-minute video, but we're going to give you the 1-minute version.
1 minute review.
So check this out and watch the Falcon be built as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is.
And it's sitting over my right shoulder here. And Dustin is inside of it right now.
Right over there. On the other side of his
Why?
neck.
Millennium Falcon
Millennium.
75192. We had fun building it. Nick is the
Yeah.
master builder. He's
I'm the
credited
master
as the
builder.
master builder.
Yes.
And it was a
Rock
lot of
on.
fun. And there's more to come, hopefully, in the Lego space.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
It is not finished,
No.
No.
And rarely
Right.
ever is.
but the Millennium Falcon is.
Yeah, the Falcon's finally
For
finished.
now.
The Falcon's finally finished, but there's plenty of Legos out there left to be built.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And we will track them down in all the corners of the galaxy and piece them back together.
Yes.
Just like this episode.
Right. We're piecing it together as we go.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, non-spoiler, we're gonna jump in
Yeah.
right now, and we're excited to talk
Non-spoiler.
about this. Yeah, for sure. Episode 11, or chapter 11,
Episode 11.
season 2, episode 3, chapter 11.
Yes.
This is our season 2, episode 3 as well, just in case anybody's keeping track and stay on target world. Or episode 43,
Yeah. Chapter 43.
whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. What it is.
It is what it is, except for what it isn't.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking. So, let's do it. Chapter 13. Wait, what is it? Chapter 11?
Chapter 11, yeah.
The Heiress. Non-spoiler, so there's no spoiler alert. So we're not going to give any spoilers away, and we're going to give it our Wookiee Cookie review.
Wookiee Cookie Review.
Yeah, that's the word. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
It was Nick. You go first.
All right. Well, first of
You
all,
just saw
everybody dies at the end.
God.
No, I'm just joking.
Again.
No spoilers yet. This was a fantastic episode, which is kind of crazy to say because this was so far the shortest episode of the season, but it was so jam-packed full of stuff that it was really, really, really good and done well. And yeah, I think that's all I got to say for right now. How about you, Dan?
Very, very good non-spoiler review. Nick.
Succinct.
Yeah. definitely the best of the season so far.
Yes.
And it took us places that we've been wanting since the beginning of this season. And so, yeah, I mean, if you hadn't seen it, you're going to want to watch it because there's a lot of good stuff in this that we're going to have to talk about in the spoiler section. That's just all I'm going to say. There's actually spoiler content in this one. The first 2 episodes, not as much.
Right, yeah.
A little bit in the first episode.
Yeah,
but,
those ones were just setting the groundwork.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
The child had some redeeming moments in this one.
Yes, I believe so.
So did Mando. Because the opinion of child went down a little bit last time. But I think it went back up this time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We're in good graces again.
Some really cool creatures we got to see. I think we say this every week.
We do.
But new creatures again.
Uh-huh.
And new characters.
Yes.
Oh, man.
A new planet?
A new
planet?
New planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. New planet, new characters, new species. And that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
It was really good. I'll give it the out of 10 review here in a minute. So, Dustin, what do you think? Non-spoiler.
Yeah, I'll say this was a good episode without spoiling anything. I'll say it's where it needed to go after last week's episode where we wanted the meat. Yeah. I'd say we got the meat more this episode.
Yeah, this was like Thanksgiving.
It's really opening up the world now, and that's kind of what I've been waiting for is to open up the world and start getting into things. You know, I want to see what's going on in the universe. I want to see more characters. I'll say without spoiling, they introduce a character that we haven't seen in a while, which is super exciting and makes sense chronologically with what we saw at the very end of season 1. What we saw, it makes sense as to why this character would show up. They also name drop another character, which is crazy awesome.
Yes.
Yep.
You know, there's so much good stuff in this episode. There's great action. Like you said, Nick is shorter, but it didn't feel shorter to me in the fact that they had a lot going on in this episode, and it played really well. I think the pacing, everything just fit well. It kind of furthered the Star Wars lore in a lot of ways too, even with the very beginning when they're in the busted up ship coming in. I don't want to spoil anything, but I thought that whole sequence is great. It showed something that was really cool with like some AT-AT type stuff, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And we got to see some more of like a water world in some ways with we got to see some Quarrens and we got to see some Mon Calamaris, which was really cool. And there's a really sweet aspect to this episode that my wife and I both really enjoyed. It was nice. It was just a nice touching moment, and it was just cute in a weird way. It was really cute to see.
Yep.
And I'd say Baby Yoda,
the heartfelt.
Yeah. I would say Baby Yoda didn't fully redeem himself, but we're on a lot better standing now than we were in the last episode. I'll say he's still adorable. Don't get me wrong. But you're like, really? But in this episode, it kind of does make up for that in a lot of ways. So overall, I really enjoyed it, and it's definitely where it needs to go. And I really want to talk about some spoilers so that we can really dive in and explain what's happening.
I definitely have to say it's like an art form to talk about something that you're really excited about talking about in a way that doesn't spoil the episode.
Right.
People do it all the time online. It's not as easy as it looks.
It isn't. It really isn't.
Without sounding repetitive.
Right.
Or
It's like you don't want to beat the dead horse,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's challenging. It's like you want to say things, and you can say what happens in some ways, but you don't want to give away what happened.
Right.
Exactly.
And moment happened or something like this. It's like you got to take out certain pieces for it to not be spoiler, but to give people you basically just want to invoke the feeling of what you felt in your review without spoiling feeling wise, kind of in a lot of ways. Was it good? Was it bad? That's what people want to know in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and then there's some people that this is a spoiler and this isn't a spoiler. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when I see somebody come out of a movie, like I don't want to see your reaction. Certain movies, I don't even want to see. I don't want a yes or a no because if you say no, I know you well enough to know what that means.
Right. Yeah. Well, that was like leading up to the episode, because it came out on Friday.
Yeah.
It's now Sunday. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
And there was just a bunch of stuff online. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah,
I just had to keep scrolling really
Yeah,
fast.
I've been skipping. Yeah, I didn't watch it Friday. I watched it Saturday.
Yeah,
And
I'd see pictures and be like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, it's Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I always try to catch it Friday as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, after the kids go to bed, but
Mhm.
otherwise, yeah, you can't get online all Friday. I just do.
Yeah.
I try to avoid getting online altogether because it's like somebody's gonna spoil it. You almost know it. Even like pictures people will throw up and stuff like that.
Right, and it's like
bumpers or whatever. I'm like, stop it!
Yeah,
it's
the
not
memes.
telling you anything, but the picture is like, oh, great.
Yeah,
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Cover art on just a video or
Yep.
the memes start dropping. We're going to drop some memes ourselves here in a
Yes,
little
we
bit.
are.
We got the meme section of the show. There's some funny ones coming
Hot,
up.
fresh memes for you.
Yeah.
Well,
But I think that does it for
little
the
fresh.
non-spoiler, but we first have to say our out of 10. What do we give it? What do we rate this episode?
what did I give the first episode?
11 out of 10.
Okay, that was cool. And then the last one was a 6.
Yep.
I'd say 12. 12 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, okay. Legit. Probably a 10. 10 out of 10. Full score. It was pretty good. Even for a shorter episode, it was really good. So, yeah, that's my Wookiee Cookie review. 10 out of 10.
10 Mandos out of 10 Mandos.
Would bake again.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 right
Yeah.
there with you. It's everything that the Mando show can deliver. It delivered in this one
Totally.
in a non-spoiler way.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 out of 10 for me. What about you, Dustin?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I think for things they introduced, the execution, what they did in the episode, yeah, everything. It was close to a perfect. I think, perfect 10 out of 10. It's so good. I wanted to watch it immediately again.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. It was fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even you were saying it's like movie quality. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
They need to just make movies. This team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They just keep getting more and more cinematic. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm. It's even better than some of the movies, I would say.
I would say so. I think
Yeah.
honestly, at this point, this season has pushed it to the next level. The
Yep.
first season, I feel like there was a few moments and there's a few things you're like, okay, it's good. It feels a little clunky. It feels a little old school, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like original trilogy, it kind of did some nostalgia, but in this one, I think they got rid of a lot of the like clunkiness.
Yeah.
And now it is smooth. I mean, all the sequences I think work perfectly.
McClunky.
It was a little McClunky at times, but now it's good.
Yep.
Yeah,
so good.
fantastic. Well, there you go. There's our non-spoiler
Yep.
thoughts.
That's a
Yummy cookies.
30 out of 30 Wookiee cookies. Woo!
We had the lots of fishiness in this. It
Yeah, there was.
was awfully fishy,
Yeah.
but that's what you get when you get near the water. When you get near the water, you're gonna get bit.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna get bit.
You're gonna get wet.
Yeah, that too.
That too.
Unless it's dry water.
Why does it look so horrible?
I don't know.
Wow.
That's just Dustin.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Negative.
Humor.
But
I gotta build you up and then tear you down.
Well, we got some comments here online, and Dustin, does it say recording on your screen now?
Yeah, it does.
All right, fantastic. And yeah, so Carla on Facebook said, what did she say? Oh yeah,
What
hi.
did
She
she
said
say?
hi on Facebook and on
Hi.
YouTube. Carla said that was almost at speed of light fast. Way to go.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about the video.
The video build. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It was
yeah.
the
It
speed
was
of
the
light.
speed of light.
14 parsecs.
14 parsecs. That's
Actually,
how
12.
fast. That's right, Dustin. Is that how fast you're traveling, or you're stationary? I guess
I'm stationary.
you
right
could be
now.
going light speed, but
Yeah.
then again, the ship would be moving.
It's
True.
not moving.
It'd be insane.
Maybe it's moving so fast that it's staying still.
Wow.
maybe. You might be right, but oh man,
People are having existential crises now.
crises.
Crises. Because they're like, wait, it's moving so fast.
It's not moving.
Oh, no. Maybe I'm moving so fast I'm staying still. Oh.
Do you want memes first, or do you want spoiler
Memes.
first?
Let's do the memes.
Let's do the memes.
Wait, the memes might spoil it, so maybe we should do spoilers first.
All right.
Could
so
it?
that's
Maybe.
you may be right. There was one from last week, but that's spoiler territory still, kinda, but not really. Let's just
In the spoiler territory if you want.
What's that?
You can just switch on to spoilers now and go to memes.
Yeah, so we are on spoiler territory. Let's flash up the alert. Spoiler alert, chapter 11, the Heiress. But in the spoiler time, we do talk about all the other seasons and episodes. So if you haven't seen Mandalorian ever,
why are you even watching this right now?
Us? Except for maybe they love Legos.
Oh, that's true.
They're like, we got to see what those guys do when they're not building Legos. This is it.
Yeah, this is not our day job, so not yet anyway.
When we're not building them, Dustin climbs inside them.
Yeah.
And does a show.
He's doing repairs right now.
Yeah, he's doing repairs. Some. Are you craggling it, Dustin? Are you using some craggle?
Release the craggle.
It's the best way to craggle.
Yeah, from the inside.
From the inside.
Oh.
Big gloop just falls on my head.
Yep.
That would be.
He's been craggled.
That would be a mess.
It would
I can't leave.
Never. You're stuck there.
I'm stuck to the ship.
You're gonna have to break it open.
Never.
The spoiler is Dustin is stuck in the Falcon forever.
Yes.
But the first meme here is let's see, one from last week, and it shows. It looks like the Joker to me, right?
Yeah, it is the Joker.
I'm kidding. It says, Vader. Well, you can read it.
Yeah, you can read.
Vader destroys Alderaan, killing billions, and no one panics. Baby Yoda eats a few frog eggs, and everyone loses their mind.
That's so true, though.
Yeah,
It is.
perfect. We were all losing our minds.
Oh, yeah, we were.
As a matter of fact, our opinion of the child went down.
Yeah, we were like, stop eating.
It's a spoiler section, and he redeemed himself by not eating anymore in this episode.
Right.
So
exactly.
he had some opportunities.
Well, he did eat in this episode.
Yeah, he ate, but he didn't eat.
Yeah, he didn't eat frog ladies, babies.
And he did have a chance to eat frog ladies.
No.
Right? He kind of did.
He kind of did, but they were watching him, so.
Yeah, but even on that crash,
close.
I was like, oh, great, he's going to walk over.
Right, yeah.
He's one-track mind. Apparently he was starving.
Right.
But you know
Always.
You know what you're like when you're starving.
Yeah.
Grab a Snickers.
Always. You're not you when you're hungry.
Yeah. When you're
Right.
hungry, you're just eating everything. Stuff falls on the floor on like
You're
a
just
good
like-
day when your stomach's full, something falls on the floor, like, ugh, garbage. When you're starving and you see something
That
fall on the
is
floor, you're like, I'm eating that.
that is a delicacy,
You're
sir.
like, I don't even care how much dirt is on that.
Right? I don't care if it's crunchy and it's not supposed to be crunchy. I'm going to eat it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Poor child. Poor
Yeah.
the child. And Alisanne joined us. Hey guys, just tuning in. The episode was crazy.
Episode.
The episode was crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was. crazy.
Crazy why? Crazy
It was everything we were wanting in this
Yeah.
episode. I think we ended chapter 10 saying, I hope this next one delivers.
Yeah.
And
And
Yeah.
it did.
it did.
It was like
It really delivered.
FedEx or UPS. It really delivered.
It really delivered on time.
On time.
If there was another
Every
filler
time.
episode, people might start throwing frog eggs.
Oh. Oh.
They'd be burning it
Where would-
all.
Where would they get all those frog eggs?
I don't know. From the Mandalorian set.
I'd say, yeah, if they had another filler episode that didn't really go anywhere, except there was another detour,
Yeah.
I'd say people would probably be dropping out, honestly.
Yeah, they'd be like,
Yeah.
"What are you guys doing? This
Some
is
people,
boring."
maybe. I don't know. I still think the show's good enough on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this really took it to a whole new level in regards to the characters they brought in, which, can we just say it now? They brought in Bo-Katan.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Oh, spoiler. If you didn't see that and you just now listened to it and it was spoiled for you, we're sorry.
Yeah, we are horribly
And some-
sorry.
Some casual fans might not even know who Bo-Katan is. If you haven't,
Right.
if you
Oh,
haven't
yeah, you-
seen Clone Wars or Rebels,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Show them the next meme.
There's the
show
next.
the next meme.
All right, the next meme here. Let's see if,
if
I
you can find it, yeah.
cue it up. It's one of these other ones here. I think it's maybe this one.
It's
Nope.
perfect.
Try that one.
Nope.
Next one. Nope.
Nope.
It's the very last one.
It's the
one that
last
was
one.
highlighted.
You're right.
Yeah.
Casual fans after watching The Mandalorian. Fans of the Clone Wars. And Rebels after watching The Mandalorian Chapter 11. Yeah.
It was.
Totally.
Yeah, it's totally true, though.
Yeah.
I know.
Freaked out.
I love seeing Bo-Katan here. It was so perfect for how they introduced Bo-Katan, and she's got the other two Mandalorians. And man, it felt like such an episode of Rebels or Clone Wars, but in live action, which like elevated it like another level. It's awesome to see. Katie Sackhoff, who voiced Bo-Katan in Clone Wars and Rebels, actually play Bo-Katan in real life, and it works perfectly.
Yeah, I mean why not?
It's so seamless. It just like blew my mind. I was just like, I'm watching this, and this is happening right now.
Right.
This is amazing, and I freaking love it. Plus, there's so much to this episode. I want to jump into everything, but I know we don't have time for that. But I'd say that first sequence too, and I want to go back to that real fast. When they're coming in, the ship's all like torn apart, and that re-entry into the atmosphere was super cool and looked so good. What do you guys think about that?
That's when I was like, this is so cinematic.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm like, I feel like I'm watching a movie. I want to see this on the big screen. We had
in a theater.
We were watching it on a 55-inch TV with 7.1, but I wanted to see it on a theater in a big screen. It was that good. It looked great. It was pretty intense. And then it turned comical at the end.
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh, he landed. Oh, never mind, he didn't.
It was the right amount of like Star Wars humor again.
Yeah.
For the fact that it's like super serious, like, oh man, are they gonna just crash straight into the ground? It was like waiting for that last moment. Are they gonna kick in?
Yeah.
Land just fine. Everybody was freaking out a little bit, and seeing that re-entry into atmosphere was so cool to see. I mean, I haven't seen that in Star Wars much. I mean, I think there might be some episodes in Clone Wars or Rebels where that happens a little bit, but not in live action. And that just looked fantastic. And it looks so realistic too, that CGI. And the whole landing platform, even the Mon Cal who's watching them as it happens. That was just comedic gold right there. And he goes to land and then he falls straight into the water.
Yeah.
And he just like shakes his head.
He's just like,
it was perfect timing, perfect everything. It was awesome.
It was great.
Now,
super great.
The second time I watched it, I feel like that could have been Bryce Dallas Howard's voice, because this episode was directed by her, which I didn't know until the credit rolled, and that was the first credit.
Oh, maybe it was her then.
And so I heard there was a female voice on when they, Razor Crest, you're coming in too fast or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The second time I watched it, I thought that was Bryce Dallas Howard's voice, knowing that it was her that directed it. So I'm going to look that up. But anyway, that whole sequence was...
That was great.
Yeah. And speaking of Bryce Dallas Howard, I'll say that this episode versus last season, she directed episode 4 of last season, which was a little bit longer. And it was a little bit of a side mission in some ways. I think that this one, because they gave her a lot more meat and a lot more to deal with in this episode, I think there was a hard way to fail, and she definitely executed it well. And for the fact that it was still short. I mean, I guess they cut out a lot of the fat that they didn't need because it felt perfect as far. I mean, I wanted to see more, don't get me wrong, but it didn't seem like there wasn't enough or was too little or too much or anything like that. So I'd say the directing in this one was done well. I mean, it's all pretty established at this point, and she's still got the help of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, there, which is going to help too. But really, still kudos to her for doing a good job in this episode. And that's cool. I didn't notice that might be her voice. That's a really good call out.
It was just random enough,
Right. Yeah.
That and it sounded like her the second time through, but she did. She nailed it. This one, episode 4. Which is chapter 4, of season 1, was one of my least favorites.
Yep.
I would agree. Even though it had a Jurassic Park reference, Jurassic Park with ATST, and it had the reference, and I like that sequence for sure, and the battle and all that was really cool. But just the directing felt,
it was good.
Yeah. The directing, and then it didn't really feel like it pushed the story that far. It kind of did, but not as much as we were used to. The first 3 had set the bar so high. When it came to 4, we're like, oh, don't give us this weird side mission.
Right, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, and then it felt a little weak, but I think that was like her directorial debut.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think since then she's directed another film or something else, maybe another TV show I thought I heard, and then this, of course. But man, she's improving by leaps and bounds.
Yes.
And
isn't her dad Ron Howard?
Well, yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Well,
I mean, and she knows what she's doing, you know. But it's like us with our fan films or whatever. Anything you do, the first time you're just figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe you've got all the training, you have an idea of what it's supposed to look like at the end.
Yeah.
But it's just executing.
It's just getting through it.
Yeah, it's knowing all the little intricacies of, you know, and she's an actress, so she knows how to deal with the actresses and actors, and she knows that perspective. But being on the other side, maybe, I don't know. But this one, man, 10 out of 10, as we said in the non-spoiler section, for sure.
I do think, you know, actors, directors are good directors for the fact that they've been behind the camera. They know what it's like to get to be directed to, you know, to do that. I think it does help in that regard that she's been in front of the camera. Somebody's telling her how to do it. So she's got the experience, and she's got the experience with multiple different directors and well-known directors to understand what works for her, you know, and learning with different directors. So I think that probably really helps her get the most out of the actors as possible. Like we've kind of said about George Lucas in the past too. You know, he's not really an actor's director. He hasn't been in front of the camera either. Not that you necessarily have to. But I think the main things he usually says are faster, more intense, right?
Faster, more intensity.
So it's not really conveying to the actors a lot of the time what they need. And I think that's why Filoni, he's really good at that, because listening to a lot of the stuff he's talked about behind the scenes, he really goes into depth about, all right, here's where your character's at. This is the time period. This is what you just went through.
Right.
Now act it out, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
Yes.
And
indeed.
The first episode was was directed by Jon Favreau.
Yep.
The second episode was directed by the guy that directed Ant-Man.
Oh,
true?
yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Forget his name.
Peyton Reed. Is his name Peyton
I'll
Reed?
remember later.
Not Peyton Reed.
Is it Peyton Reed? No. What? I forget now. Fact checker.
Fact checker, where are you?
And then Bryce Dallas Howard. So based on where they're taking the next episode, if we meet the person that they said we might meet.
Yes.
You can say it. You can say it.
Yes, it's spoiler.
Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah. What? Again, Bo-Katan. We've only ever seen her in animated flicks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, actually, in animated flicks. She was in the final season. So that's twice in 1 year we've seen her. Final season of Clone Wars.
Yep.
With an epic part. And then here she is, right out of the animated pages.
Yes.
Onto the big screen.
Yep.
Well, little screen, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then here we are, Ahsoka Tano coming right off the. She was in a movie, the Clone Wars movie.
Right. Yeah. But it was animated.
It was the big screen, but it was an animated.
Yep.
Onto the little screen, animated. Now back to the big screen, little screen.
Big little screen.
A lot of screens going on.
The medium screen.
In live action, though, to see Ahsoka.
Yeah. Oh, it's
that's going to be lightsabers. Dustin was like, I missed the lightsabers.
Yeah.
Jedi.
I did hear rumor that there's going to be a lightsaber duel in this season that may rival the movies.
Ooh.
I did hear a rumor.
Yeah. I heard that too. It's going to be between.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? I mean, that would probably be what? Ahsoka and the Darksaber?
Yep.
Yeah.
Moff Gideon. I think so.
Gideon, who knows? I mean, it could be they could introduce a Sith. With this episode, you're like, what are they going to throw at us now? I do love the fact that it's Dave Filoni working with Jon Favreau, and the fact that not only has Jon Favreau come up with this idea and it's his story, but the fact that he's brought Jon Favreau in and that they're intermingling their own worlds. It's like the
you mean Filoni bringing Filoni in intermingling? Yeah.
Filoni's universe and Jon Favreau's universe are connecting, and it's working out way better than the movies. I mean, Let's honest. I mean, this Filoni universe is way better than anything else that's come out in the Star Wars universe at this point. With Jon Favreau too. Yeah. So it's fantastic to see them come together.
Yeah.
I love that they dropped Ahsoka. I cannot wait to see her in live action.
Right.
I'm a little curious as to, do you guys think, are they going to have Rosario Dawson, who's slated
that's what I was.
Play her? Is she going to still voice Ahsoka, or is it going to be Ashley Eckstein who voices Ahsoka? What do you guys think? And what do you prefer?
Why not both?
It depends on how they show her, but Ahsoka's. I don't know. she's not a Mando. She doesn't have a helmet on.
Right.
So it's like you're gonna see her mouth move, and it's gonna be weird. But you're right. It's gonna be weird if it's not Ashley Eckstein.
Yeah.
It could be ADR, you know.
Yeah, they could totally do that, and then just have a lot of like over the shoulder shots. But you know, if they have close ups or anything, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna sound weird if it's not Ashley Eckstein.
Right. Yeah.
It might sound weird, but you know, it would be interesting if they mix the two voices. I like you said, Nick. That would be an interesting take, you know.
Well, because they could have her perform it, you know, how she would on the set, and then have Ashley Eckstein come in, and match it, as best she can, or how Ahsoka would say it, you know, overdub it, yeah. That does present a problem, though. That's why I wonder if Filoni is going to direct if she's in the next episode, the very next episode, because Mando at the end of this one said to the child, "I now know where I'm supposed to take you."
Yep.
To reunite with your people. I don't know if Ahsoka is going to necessarily know what to do, except that she did see Yoda.
Yes.
A lot.
Yoda.
So she's going to be like, maybe she can shed some light on the situation. Yeah. Maybe she's
and
like...
Yoda's still around as a Force ghost now, too. And Luke is around technically, too.
Yeah.
So really, all of a sudden, I mean, we could even see a Luke cameo.
Oh, my gosh.
And that would be really interesting.
If they did it well, it'd be great.
Or what about a Yoda Force ghost?
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
I could see it.
Why not?
Yeah, but I mean, Ahsoka at this point, I'd say she's the most like out there Jedi in some ways. Although she's not a Jedi, so it's really interesting. She still kind of plays in the whole gray area. But the thing about Ahsoka is that she's always for good. It doesn't matter if she's a Jedi or not.
She's like an anti-hero,
doing what's
sort of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she
was still trained by the Jedi, so she does at least know how to raise a Jedi youngling or how to deal with powers, stuff like that. She helped with younglings, you know, a lot of that stuff. So,
and obviously, this baby Yoda is Force sensitive. We've yet to see any Force powers this season so far.
Yeah,
we've just seen him or her, him
annoyingly
eat eggs out of a thing, and this one there was close.
The only time he used the Force was when he sucked the eggs closer.
Was he sucking them closer? I don't. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That was the only time I can think of that he actually used the Force in the season.
Yeah.
I think they're saving it again.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a moment. So. Yeah. But he didn't. I mean, clearly didn't use the Force to get out of either of the pickles that he was in this time. Yeah. Or a couple of pickles. Yeah. Like those calamari, those little like squid things were like just all over the place in this episode. Yeah. The little baby carriage went inside of it, and you're like, that's the end of the.
All right, he gone,
baby.
That was crazy. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I know. For the predicaments they've been in, I'm surprised Baby Yoda hasn't used the Force for like moving that giant spider thing off the ship so they could get out of there.
Yep.
You know, or the the giant alien that was trying to eat them, the worm, the crate dragon.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't, but maybe those were too big, and he knows it takes a big toll on him. It's not, you know, refined enough.
Yeah.
Still a baby, so.
Yeah, still a child.
I guess with the Mudhorn, baby, there was no other option. At least with this, with the ones that have happened, there have been other opportunities to get out of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I'm curious now. Does that mean that that's the last we're gonna see of the Baby Yoda baby carriage?
Right. Yeah. That's what I was wondering.
No, because Queel was the one who built that for him, right?
Was it?
I think Queel was the one who built that.
I think so. I think that's right.
Oh no, it wasn't. No, it was. He was originally.
He was in that
found him.
in episode 1.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But are there two of them? I don't know. It looked different to me when I looked at it again. Maybe it was just the lighting.
Oh, the carriage?
Yeah, maybe the carriage. Maybe they got a couple of backups. But
maybe.
I heard some people online kind of being like reminiscing, like sadness, because the baby carriage from episode 1 is like toast.
He's gone. Mm-hmm.
Which I did hear something kind of funny about that. Baby Yoda was eating those eggs, and then his egg-shaped carriage got swallowed by the.
Oh,
the
yeah?
Wow.
Somewhat of a punishment.
Talk about irony.
There's the redemption. You gonna eat baby eggs?
Revenge.
So, Dustin, there was all kinds of slimy little fishy creatures in this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, but we don't know any of their names or anything, so they're not, and they all pretty much got.
Well, there's the 2 frog creatures. I don't know their species name. Yeah. And then there's the Quarrens, which look like Davy Jones from
that's what those.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah.
And then and then there's the Mon Calamari. Those are pretty much, besides humans in this episode, those are probably the main ones that we see in this. I don't think we really see anything else. Other than the squid creature that attaches to Baby Yoda's face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not sure what that is. That just might be a mini one of those things that tries to eat Baby Yoda later. I forget, they say the name of that creature, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It was like Mama something. It sounded like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But.
So, and then Nick was asking, the Mon Calamari, like, that's just the species type, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the species name.
It's also
Admiral Akbar was a Mon Cala. Is it Mon Cala or no? Mon Cala is the name of their planet.
Right, because he said he said Mon Calamari. So yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Quarren is the other species.
Yeah, squid-looking thing.
There was actually a civil war in the Clone Wars between the Quarren and the Mon Calamari.
Yep. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. Fun to see. I love seeing the whole fish town, fishing town parade with the boats and everything.
Yeah.
Something about that's so satisfying. It feels so Star Wars, but my wife is saying too, it really feels like it brings it back down to earth. Like it's relatable.
Yeah.
Like how they set it up. It still looks Star Wars, but it's so relatable with even what they're wearing, like cable knit sweaters, stuff like that. Yep. That it really makes it feel like a lived-in universe again, like an old fishing town, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
And pirates, pretty much.
Pirates.
Yeah, exactly. They mentioned pirates when they jumped on that freighter thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, multiple references to pirates. Yeah, because I was thinking of the Quarrens, actually.
Oh, yeah, but they were piratey. He kind of even said, like, R at one point. He kind of sounded like when he was talking to the Mando originally. He's like, he's like, have you seen people with Beskar or whatever? And he's like, oh, yeah. He kind of snickers like a piratey at the end of.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'll show you.
Also, weren't we saying there like we're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean in episode 1, or was it episode 2? Remember, I was like, oh, and then the pirates jump out and.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's funny. It's a funny callback. Yeah. We aren't even in the series, but it's a funny callback.
They all intermingle,
right?
They all play with each other well.
Oh my gosh! Davy Jones just pops up. Garr.
That's what it seemed like.
Right?
Warner really liked Davy Jones.
I want to see the ship.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Right? Where does it make Beth?
Where does it make Beth? Have you not heard the story?
But remember Millennium Falcon? Of course you do. Remember Force Awakens?
Yeah.
And those little like slimy creatures that he had on the ship.
What
is it with them like hauling around like
crazy creatures?
Yeah. What's the point? Why were they feeding that one on that ship, the Quarren ship that they ended up feeding Baby Yoda to?
Yeah, I don't. Why was it in the hull?
I don't know.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense.
Maybe they caught it earlier, or they were holding it, or they were going to take it somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe
it's like use it as a way to get what they want.
Maybe that's how. Maybe that's like that they farm instead of like cows that they just grow and raise.
Just
they grow those things. They just keep them attached to the ship somehow.
Yeah,
and they just float around and
big fish
it.
creature.
And then when it gets big enough, they
just let it go,
or they kill it and they sell it. Yeah,
and eat it.
And then they give it to the Mon Calamari guy that's in the shop. He's like, these tables
Circle
are
of life.
Yeah. Fish eating fish and selling fish and then eating fish.
We're all cannibals here.
Yeah, it's bizarre, but that was interesting when he went into that cantina, that restaurant, and the baby was hungry. He's like, I'll have some chowder for the child, and then nothing for me.
And he paid with the calamari flan.
Yeah,
that was a good callback from season 1.
Yes, I liked it, and the sound when he put it on the table. We got a table here. It was like when he picked it up, it was all slimy.
Yeah, it was
got finge for hands.
Yeah, that was cool to see too. Even the attention to detail in this episode, I'd say, is fantastic. Just the way they shot everything, made sure everything was perfect. I mean, I didn't spot anything out of place, character-wise or anything. It was so well done. I did want to touch upon real fast the frog creatures.
Yeah.
They finally are reunited, and it's like this. It's so cute to see.
It's adorable.
Cute a lot, but when I do, I mean it. So those two frog creatures coming together, that was cute.
They're like,
it was a heartwarming situation. I was just hoping they wouldn't get eaten or something.
Right. I know. I was like, oh, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
Then the whole dock explodes or something.
Right. Yeah. Then the Empire attacks.
And I like even the fact that they left Baby Yoda with the two parents and stuff like that. That was really cute too. And the fact that she still trusted Baby Yoda around.
She never knew what Baby Yoda did.
What?
She never knew what the child did.
Well, she held it closer that one time. But
okay, did she?
I don't know if she did.
Maybe she suspected, but
Well, we were saying when the dad came up and they get that reunion, and they looked at the babies. We were like, weren't there more of them?
Right. He's probably saying like, what happened to half of them?
Right.
Like there are way more.
Yeah. Yeah. When
Also,
Baby Yoda was petting the little toad,
right?
I was like,
oh, he's gonna eat it.
Eat that toad.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
Also, did you realize that throughout this episode, suddenly the frog lady can understand basic because he tells her to help her when he's trying to land the ship, and she goes up there and holds the thing back.
Yeah.
And then when
I think she understood basic, I believe, because she just needed something to translate for her in the last episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that makes sense.
I think she understood it, but he couldn't understand her, I think.
Yes.
Maybe you're right. Or maybe she's just a fast learner.
Yeah, she's a frog.
I mean,
you know what they say about frogs?
I guess it's like somebody speaking, another language, but usually around the world, for the most part, English is usually the second language.
Yeah.
Is the most popular language that other than your main language. So I feel like it's the same in this universe. Basic is really like the second language that most species or creatures learn, just so that they can still talk with other creatures and whatnot. Yeah. I like that he tried to say Huttese that one time, which is pretty funny. He's like, speak Huttese?
Right, yeah.
She's just like, what?
Well, and Mando he knows how to speak
Tusken Raider.
Tusken, he's pretty fluent in a couple of languages.
Your cup was hollow there for a second.
Your cup disappeared.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. No, Alice Ann said online, she said, comment, the frog dad was like, wasn't there more than 10 children, dear?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's what I would ask. I'd be like, where's the rest?
I'm not watching that child.
Right.
I'm not babysitting a baby
He killed him. He killed him.
Yeah. And then Zarimoto jumped in and said, I can't wait to see Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And LOL, yeah, I was so scared for the eggs and baby toad too.
Yeah, I know. I was don't eat them. Please don't eat them.
Right, even because that's what I'm saying. When the ship was crashing to the thing, now the frog mom was distracted by helping.
Yeah,
and then the child and the thing kept clunkering around. I'm like
clunky.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah, I was like unsteady.
Thankfully, I think it was an isolated incident of weakness, and so now as fans of the show, we're allowed to move along, and the child can be redeemed. But we had that moment of weakness, and now the child had some chowder. Child chowder.
And Mando understood a little bit more in this episode. He's like, I know you're hungry. I'm going to get you fed, that kind of thing. So at least he acknowledged it and got him fed more this episode. So at least he was fed enough not to want to eat the eggs now.
Yeah.
Right,
or the toad.
Yeah. Part of parenting, though, right? Understanding when your kids are hungry and get them food. Maybe they're just fussy because they're hungry.
Maybe. Or they need a nap.
Maybe they need
Sometimes
a nap.
you got to spank the baby when it wants his bottle and he can't have it.
Can't have it.
That's funny.
That's a good one. So yeah, it was a lot of touching moments. I like that. I was waiting for the music to super swell, when they ran toward
super
each other.
epic.
But it was right after that shot. There was some really cool music. Was it right before?
I think it was right after it.
It was right after
when they're all walking.
When they're
away.
walking away toward the restaurant.
It was different. That inn over there.
There was some cool music
playing.
Yeah.
He also understood what she was saying, or what the guy frog dude was saying.
Yeah,
because he was like pointing. Well, I mean, he probably just saw it. He was probably like, "Oh, that inn over there, that one right there."
That one.
They're like standing next to it. He's like, "That one? Is it that one?"
I don't know, but it was definitely pretty touching there, and
it was just a sweet moment, and it was a nice reunion. It was just cute.
Wrapped up all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter.
Very
that
nicely.
short sequence. It
made it worth it.
Nice. And it was cute, and it also gave somebody for Mando to leave the baby Yoda with when he goes with Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think about that rescue and Baby Yoda getting thrown in, eaten by that creature?
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's dead.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how Mando was getting out of that one. He instantly jumped in the water.
It
kind of caught me by surprise, actually.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. Yeah. I was like, oh, they're going to show him how to feed the fish. That's cool. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard somebody online. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, it was interesting how the Quarren was talking to Mando the whole time, and Mando definitely was getting some weird vibes from him because he kept saying, that's close enough, it's all that stuff. He was still wary, but apparently not wary enough whenever he smashed Baby Yoda into the thing. Baby Yoda just in time gets the egg closed before he jumps down, which was close. And obviously it was all dented in and everything.
Right.
So,
and I was like, oh, he's hurt.
Yeah. I was surprised that Mando didn't fare much better in there, to be honest. I thought maybe he would have done better, especially after just killing the Crate Dragon episode 1. You'd think. But I don't know, the water must have thrown him off or something, or maybe his helmet doesn't actually seal.
Yeah, I don't think it does. I did
hear a sound later on with Bo-Katan's helmet. It sounded like it's sealed, so I'm wondering if the Mandos that show up with their helmets, they might actually seal their heads in with some sort of rebreather or something like that.
Yeah, right.
It's interesting. It might be why that other Mando fared a lot better against the creature. I think it was also just to show the point that these Mandos
they're not messing around.
Legit.
Yeah.
And I really like what they go into here, which is something huge for the whole entire episode.
Right away,
they saved Mando, and it was so cool to see them come down. And I was like, "That's Bo-Katan!
Right.
That's Bo-Katan!
That's Bo-Katan!
Woo!"
Yeah. I wasn't sure it was Bo-Katan right away.
Right.
And then we were watching it with subtitles to understand some of the different languages and things they were saying, because it'll say Huttese and they'll whatever, and then anyway, it said Bo-Katan first as she was saying the first line with the helmet on, and so we're like, yeah, it is Bo-Katan.
Nice.
Yes.
But I mean, the emblem, the marking on the helmet, was
the night owl markings on her helmet.
Right. But you're not sure until you're sure, and then she clearly said, "I'm Bo-Katan of House Kreese or whatever."
Yeah, and I really love what they went into right after that. I mean, for the fact that they took off their helmets right away, and that's something we've been talking about this whole time. We're like, why? When did this happen? When did this you can't take your helmet off thing apply to all the Mandalorians? And they explained it brilliantly in this episode for the fact that it was like, oh, you're a child of the Watch. Which I never thought of that. I don't know why I never thought of that, but it was brilliant because we know in the Clone Wars Rebels, we're like, people are taking off their helmets all the time.
Right.
And so it's the classic Mandalorians or the ones that are not under the Watch, Night Watch or whatever. They don't have to live by that creed. It's more the ancient ways of like battle everybody, top dog wins, whereas her sister Satine was more about a free Mandalore, a kind of neutral Mandalore in a lot of ways, but they weren't strength in that old school way. It was more diplomatic in a lot of ways, but I thought that was really a great way to explain it, that they're just zealots. That he's a child of the Watch, which is perfect because they show him getting saved by Night Watch on one of the planets in the first season, and that's why they can't take off their helmets. It's to prove to the Mandalorians that they are Mandalorians, and they will do it no matter what. They will never take if they take their helmet off or somebody removes it, then they're no longer a part of this creed or zealots or anything like that. So that was really interesting. I really loved that. What do you guys think about that?
Oh yeah, it was great. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. They're just zealots. They don't want to take their helmets off. Also, they're mostly ugly, so that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, it explained a lot in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Like explaining Mando's, and it also kind of subverted a lot of like the things that we had like built into us as Mando fans. Like, yeah, of course he doesn't take his helmet off. And then I was joking, commenting that at the beginning of the episode, they were all sleeping on the ship, the busted up ship, the scene from the trailer. It's just floating around. Of course, they're all going to be sleeping in there.
Right.
So
he was
like, his head was leaned over. I'm like, that's how he sleeps.
Right.
He wakes up with a neck ache. That's why he's always cranky.
Gets a kink in his neck.
And Baby Yoda was definitely like meditating, not sleeping.
Right, he was
like,
crisscross applesauce.
Yeah, no, but but like I said, and then he was like, no, that's what the way of the Mandalore is like the only way.
Yeah.
Then for the first time, you're kind of like, man, he's a little too like
he's
intense, and then he kind of carries his baby and runs away, like flies off. He's like, I'm out of here.
He's like, you're not Mandalorian.
Kind of like totally caught off guard, like because he said the same thing when he ran into Boba Fett or the Marshal in the first episode. So the same exact sequence of events. Yeah. They take the helmet off. Where'd you get that armor?
Yep.
He's like, oh, we're gonna do this, right? And then they're about to do the battle, and the thing shows up and sidetracks
the day.
But then Bo-Katan just like stands up, and she's like, oh, and then she knew more about him.
Yeah,
she knew more about him than he knew about him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm taking this. I've requested to take him to the Jedi. And she's like, I know about the Jedi. Yeah, whatever. And Mando was like kind of one-upped for the first time.
Yeah.
He kind of became like a side character for the first time once Bo-Katan showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, here's Bo-Katan, a real Mandalorian who's been through a ton of stuff, knows all about the universe, Jedi, Sith. She's seen it all.
Fought in the Purge.
She fought in the Purge. She knows she's trying to reclaim Mandalore and the Darksaber. Yep. And that's her whole motivation at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, why wouldn't it be?
Yep.
So, that
expanded the whole universe of the Mandalorian like tenfold.
Yep. Yeah, and like one quick conversation, and it brought our Mandalorian up to speed with the rest of the universe that we hadn't been. We're kind of on our own right now.
Yeah.
We're
on our own path.
Yeah,
now
we're seeing the Empire. Right, and then weaving Baby Yoda in. We still don't really know how that plays in.
No,
except that now we know Ahsoka's out there, which we knew, but we know Luke's out there. Right. But then we're like, well, what are the rules here?
Yeah,
I'll stop talking. But you're like, what are the rules? And then you're like, maybe they are going to drop Luke. Maybe they are going to bring a Force Ghost Yoda.
Anything goes now. At this point, it feels like it's like with dropping this one character, it's opened up the whole universe. Yeah, because she knows about everything. I mean, and coming down to the whole name of the episode, the Heiress. Yeah, I think they're referring to Bo-Katan. I mean, she is the heiress of Mandalore. She ruled Mandalore. Her sister did. She was a part of the Watch too. Broke off from the Watch. I mean, she has the most experience as a Mandalorian than any other Mandalorian alive at this point. So to bring her in and how they did it was so cool. And I love the fact that they didn't just bring just her into it. Mm-hmm. She actually had those two other side Mandalorians. Yeah. And man, they fought like smooth. It was cool to see them fighting as a unit. Right. They fought so well and succinct. And they were just awesome. Whenever they took on somebody, it was like, no, they're done. Everybody's done.
Right.
That was so cool to see.
Right. Every fight with them was amazing.
Especially when they show up again. When the Mandalorian gets to the dock. And the guy's like, you killed my brother. He's like, let me pass.
Yeah, right.
And then, those three show up, and Bo-Katan's like, he didn't kill your brother. And then they're just like,
yeah, it just took out everybody. Like,
yeah, I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, right. Well, because I said to Nick that it didn't look like they killed anybody when they first landed on the ship.
Yeah.
Didn't look like it.
Yeah, they just beat him up.
And then because the one guy actually shot him like in the two guys like in the shoulder, and like they fell down and they punched him or whatever. But I was like, oh, they're just like Batman. They're not going to kill anybody.
Right. And then shows the ship out in the distance. They take off. Just explodes.
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
was cool to see. That was awesome.
I guess they're dead now.
Yeah, and then they show up 2 seconds later and they're like, you killed my brother. He's like, no, I did. Boom. And then they just blow him all the way. So obviously
I was like, where are all these laser blasts coming from? There's only 3 of them.
It's like what true Mandalorians are like. I mean, they are wrecking balls. They just show up, they destroy. You don't want to mess with Mandalorians. And it shows the prowess that they have when it comes to, being a force that stood up to the Jedi and the Sith of old. It really makes sense. You're like, holy crap, these people are warriors and they will destroy you without remorse.
Yep. Deadly.
Yeah, it's true. We got a couple comments on YouTube. Alisan said, I also thought, those squids seemed fishy. No, this is from earlier. No pun intended. But I didn't think they would try to take out the child to get Mando's armor. Because, clearly that was their motivation.
Yeah.
We were all commenting
his
how
Beskar is ours.
Yeah, how rich Mando is. He's like, yeah, fix my ship. Give me
Right.
some chowder. Take me to this place. He's like, I got money everywhere.
He's like, can you
like-
fix it? I can make it fly.
Right.
But it's true. With that Beskar armor, he's probably
Yeah.
the wealthiest guy on the planet.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
exactly.
And then
Apparently everybody knows it.
yeah,
know,
and they're all
right?
like, oh, Beskar. Yeah, are you sure it's
He's a
Beskar?
target.
What if it's imitation Beskar?
It's called Veskar.
It's a knockoff stuff.
Veskart.
And then Alicent said, I also thought there was going to be a reveal that the frog couple set them up since they were the
Oh.
ones who sent him to the innkeeper.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, that's true.
that would have been an interesting twist. Would have
Yeah.
taken away from their sweetness.
Right.
Yeah, and then they kill the child.
Yeah.
We're like, oh no.
But they're after the real bounty, which
Right.
is the child.
Which
Which
is
is
kinda
the
funny.
child, and he left him
Big
with him.
Yoda in, and ironically, he's way more valuable, I think, than any
Yeah.
Beskar.
And then the bad guy from the first season walks in the door and he's
Right.
like, let me have the baby now.
I would like to see the baby
I'd
now.
like to see the. How is he even alive?
How is he alive? Because
What?
yeah, weren't they like cloning? Right.
They
That's
were
what
doing
that
the- yeah,
the
they were
doctor
doing-
was from Camino or something.
Well, they got the child's
DNA.
DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know though, because remember Queel says something about him not being a clone. I
Yeah.
thought in episode.
I think they were
2.
trying to
I don't know.
something. I don't know, but just imagine that like a bunch of Werner Herzogs in a jar, like Snoke was in Episode 9. I would like to see the baby now. And then, so there's something off with some of them. They're like,
But that reminds me a lot of just this episode when we saw the Imperial people
Yep.
again with some stormtroopers.
Stormtrooper.
Quickly, they were like, "Hey, we can help you get the child to your Jedi, but
You just gotta help us,
yeah, we need your help first." Well, because clearly they just bailed him out twice.
right? Yeah,
They saved the child. They saved him.
yeah.
He ran away all angry. He's like, "Stop yelling at me!" And then he flies away.
He's got some teen angst.
Instantly
for a
gets into trouble
middle-aged
again.
man.
He's like, "I'm so confused.
Right.
My whole life, I thought I was
My life is a lie.
everything I thought was just completely subverted by this other man who thinks she knows
Yep.
more than me."
You give me armor. You know Mando. I'm Mando.
He's like,
I'm Mando.
he's like, I was still feeling bad about actually taking my helmet off at the season finale.
Right.
I guess it
He's
wasn't
like,
that
they
big a
can-
deal.
They can never know.
IG-11 didn't have to,
Right.
lie and swear
you
an
know,
oath and die.
And that's like, okay, where do the IG units come from? Are they just like, is there a bunch of them in one spot, or like-
they're like a specially manufactured
Yeah.
hunter-killer drone.
but like who
or
owns them?
hunter-killer
Instagram.
droid
Instagram.
unit.
They're Instagram 11,
IG.
Instagram 88. Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, so he's not a living. IG wasn't a living thing though. But couldn't he still couldn't the memory of Mando's face be stored away in some database somewhere? It could come
would
back
be
to haunt
stored
him.
in the IG unit,
Right, yeah.
but the IG unit exploded, so I don't.
Right, yeah, but what is there like a server where they
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Because it works as its own individual.
It
have to
is
actually plug
its
in or
own
upload
entity.
to actually have that happen.
Instagram. They send assassin drones after people.
Right.
Yeah.
Check us out on Instagram.
Check us out.
Or
Stay
don't.
on target. At Stay on Target.
Right.
Stay on Target Show, right?
I don't know.
Stay on Target Show?
Stay on target show.
Oh yeah.
But if you want to contact us, it's stayontarget.contact
Yeah.
at gmail.com. I think that's
And
it.
if you'd like to subscribe,
Please do.
please do. And like the video.
Yeah, if you like
Tell
this,
your friends.
if you love this live video, then give us the thumbs up
Yeah.
and subscribe. Yeah. We would love that. And we have we've enjoyed talking so far about this spoiler.
Yes.
Amazing episode. It's worth digging
Yeah.
into. We could talk for
Amazingly
3
short.
hours probably about this episode alone.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No diggity. No diggity.
Because we're still not even to the
Yeah, we don't-
amazing
The
climax.
finale.
The action part, yeah.
Climactic. I mean, again, cinema quality. Like the amount of action
Oh,
we
yeah.
had in this, the amount of CG, the amount of practical effect, slimy creatures walking around. I was telling Nick
Slimy.
because we watched it together. That's why I keep telling Nick
Yeah.
that
He was speaking to me telepathically.
telepathically. Pathetic.
Emphasis on the pathetic.
That when she was directing Bryce Dallas Howard, when they got to that port, there was no like human face or humanoid face. It was all creatures in masks. The Mando, alien, the child.
Aliens.
It reminded me of the interview
Bears.
of the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It was Filoni or one of them. It was talking about. Oh no, I think it was episode 2. There wasn't a single human face until like halfway through the episode or something like that.
Yeah.
And then of course,
which makes it more Star Warsy.
Yeah, I think Bo-Katan was
Star
actually
Warsian.
the first person to see a face.
Yeah.
When they took their helmets off.
That's
I think that is. Yep.
That's true. First human face.
Yeah, human.
First human face.
So
otherwise, it was Mr. Tentacles.
Yeah.
Or
Davy Jones.
Yeah. Or Squid Man. It's a trap.
Yeah. Yeah, that action sequence was, awesome. Whenever they flew up there and they just totally wrecked shop. I even love the sequence when they were talking about like, oh, there's got to be 10 or more.
Yeah, 10. There's at least 10, maybe more. Oh wait, they're Mandalorians. Wait. It's like, what are you saying? Wait for? They're not gonna wait.
Reads the life form signal. He's like, there's only 4.
There's only 4.
There's only 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, just how they wreck shop is awesome through that whole thing. Like, it's clear they've done this before.
Right.
know?
Yeah.
They're not afraid. Yeah.
Like a Rebels episode in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it reminded me of something they would pull off in an animated show.
Yeah.
All that action, all the flying, all of the ship. Even the ship looked amazing. Like that big freighter, whatever they had a name for it. I can't remember it, but the ship looked sweet. Every time it flew in, and when it just missed the water, and when it took off, I was like, that looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that exhaust, like the flames coming out the back or whatever, looks so cool.
Yeah,
it did.
Everything about it was, man, they just really have cinematically tightened up all of the
loose ends.
All of the loose ends.
Yes.
They definitely dialed it in for sure.
Yeah.
And
dialed it in.
And what I was gonna say, the casting for the Empire people,
Mm-hmm.
they were so it was so well done. Like I like the cast. I know I'd seen that guy before somewhere. He played on Lost or something like that, and he's been in other shows, the main one, but I don't remember all exactly I've seen him, but I know I've seen him a couple places. But he played a perfect Imperial along with the 2 pilots. I mean, that was genius. Even the other guy who was in the hangar bay.
Right. He's like, we trapped them. Where are they trapped? In the hangar control bay.
Yeah.
Where? In the hangar control.
But even that, like, that's good directing.
Yeah.
It's good timing in the edit, you know?
Yeah. Oh
like,
my gosh.
He asked him again, okay, that's the gag. But even how the camera panned in on his face, he was like...
In the hangar control. They all get sucked out into the atmosphere.
And then you can still hear him on the comm for a minute as he's like, because the guy was connected to him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was genius. And I liked that, like how zealot they were about like killing pilots and then and how Moff Gideon really reminds me so much, and the other guy in charge really reminds me of like the Third Reich, it's the Nazis. It was they're like they were the religious zealots that are left in the Empire, and you really felt they're like, well, if they're gonna take the ship, don't let them have the ship.
Yeah, don't let them have the ship.
And then he takes out the 2 pilots. Even that whole like electric pill,
like a cyanide capsule.
Yeah.
But Star Wars version.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen the Empire act like that before.
No.
They were like kamikazeing, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys took the words right out of my mouth.
Right out of his mouth. I used my hand. I was like, ooh.
But yeah, the Nazi reference.
Pull the string
once again. I mean, it's all over the it's all over the place. It was like something out of Indiana Jones or something.
Yeah,
they're like, we're out of here.
He's just talking to Moff Gideon.
It's
he's like, long live the Empire. Boom, boom. Then starts. It's like, what?
Yeah, it was like, because you remember like the SS guards and they're like the most intense. It was almost like Moff Gideon when he talked to them. He's like, oh, we're overrun and they've taken over the ship. Well, how much of the ship have they taken over? By the way, when Moff Gideon showed up, you're like, is that that's Moff Gideon?
Right. Moff Gideon. He's like, yeah, by that. He's like, if they've already taken over that much, there's no point in sending reinforcements. You know what to do. It's like, what?
Ruthless.
The other two guys were like looking at each other, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's
like,
happening right now?
I don't like that Moff Gideon is showing up on our
Yeah.
display right now.
He's like, what does he mean? You know what to do? And then he just, I was like, okay, that just happened. This is crazy.
Yeah. So that obviously was an important, because they said, are these the same pirates that have been here before? Right?
Yeah.
Because Moff Gideon asked him. He's like, are these the same pirates? That must be the code word for Mandalorians, because
or
clearly
they don't know the Mandalorians.
What's that?
Or they don't know they're Mandalorians. They just know somebody keeps showing up and stealing their ships.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't know. Moff Gideon, the Darksaber, what's his infatuation with Mando, the child? The whole thing is a little odd. It's a little weird. So I feel like he knows more than we know. And the fact that he's got such close tabs on that ship, knowing that maybe the Mandalorians are going to show, I don't know. He had a direct line to Moff.
The ship reached out to him.
Yeah, I know, but how do you get a direct line to Moff Gideon? Obviously,
it had to be an important shipment.
If he's the main one in charge at that time, in that area.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
But why would they contact him directly? Maybe that one guy was sent there to get stuff and to make sure that it didn't get stolen from the pirates again, type situation. Could have been a higher up. He seemed like a higher up.
Well, because Moff Gideon, if I'm remembering correctly, in chapter 9 or 8, the last one of season 1, 8.
8?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8.
He showed up on that planet to pick up the child. He wanted the child, right?
Yeah,
and
he wanted the child.
7 and 8, yep.
Yeah.
I believe it was 7 and 8 he showed
And he
up.
killed the, what was Werner Herzog's character?
The client, yeah.
The
He killed the client to get to...
That was a crazy scene, by the way, just remembering that. Because, they're...
Yeah.
And then Moff Gideon's talking to him, and it's just like...
But
it's
obviously,
like,
Moff
what?
Gideon is really interested in the child.
He's a crazy person.
How did he not know that? I don't know. You think the Empire would be strolling around? Maybe they would have seen Mando show up. That ship seems like it would be on the radar, but I know the Empire isn't as strong as it used to be.
Right.
But it's like if you flew anywhere before. I mean, now the Republic was out there. They found found Mando's ship before the Empire did. But where was I going with that? No, but
where was I going? Ooh.
No, but Moff Gideon blew up the client. Clearly didn't care. He was trying to get to the child. And then here it is, telling that guy on this big freighter, he's like, you know what to do.
Yep.
Sink it with the pirates on it.
Yeah.
I'd rather blow up our entire shipment and you just to take care of 3 pirates.
Yep. Than have them get the ship.
And get away with the supplies that are on the ship. I don't know, but he's clearly, there's not that many Empire commanders left, I would think.
I don't think so.
And he personally, in the
at
show...
At least not for this era. He controls, I think since he's given himself the title, or he is a actual Moff.
Yeah.
He's the one who rules over this whole sector when it comes to, the hierarchy of the Empire. And he's it seems like he's like the religious zealot that's left. I mean, what happened in World War II after Hitler died? It was only the crazy zealots that were left over that were still fighting, that moved to South America, all that stuff. That's kind of what's going on with this. These people are the religious zealots that still believe that the Empire can take over, and because it's so fresh with their defeat. I mean, the New Republic's still trying to establish themselves. The Empire's still fighting for control. It's not all said and done. It's not like a clean cut. They definitely chopped off the head, but you have so many Moffs out there.
Right.
It's going to take some time, to root out all the crazies, and these are definitely some crazies that have a good stronghold over the area. And Moff Gideon being the harbinger of death that he is.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are just establishing him as a harbinger of death, somebody who is a scary villain. He shows up, people are going to die. I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
He pretty much doesn't care about collateral damage.
No.
Right.
Just as long as he gets what he needs.
There were some sweet looking weapons on that ship, though.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah.
Some
and for the fact that they said that they were mining them from Mandalore.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Which was interesting.
Yeah. So they got to be close.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There's a lot going on with Mandalore and stuff like that. They even talk about it a little bit in this episode as to, she even says, don't believe everything you hear when it comes to him saying that Mandalore is uninhabitable. They made sure of that. Obviously, there's some propaganda going on with the Empire.
Mhm.
Bo-Katan knows the whole story, obviously, and she's trying to unite all the Mandalorians together again to take back what's rightfully theirs. I mean, that's her goal. This whole episode for her is trying to find out where the Darksaber is. That's what she needs to rule Mandalore again.
Yep.
So somehow she lost it. We don't know. They have to explain a lot. There's so many unknowns in this episode. Or just what's going on. There's so much that has to be explained with Moff Gideon, with Bo-Katan, with the Mandalorians, the siege or the purge of Mandalore. All that stuff, the weapons.
Yeah.
I just hope that like season 3 and season 4 get even crazier epic, and I think even in the end of this season, it's gonna get crazy epic.
Yeah.
And I also just real quick, sorry, I'll throw it back to you guys, but I like the fact that she kept saying, "I've altered the deal."
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
And I was like, I wanted her to say at one point, "Pray I don't alter it further."
Yep.
And for the fact that like she kept throwing in his face, "This is the way."
This is the way.
In a lot of ways, I was like, "Wow, it's like
right." That's
clear
great.
delineation between the two different types of Mandalores, which was awesome and cool to see. It makes sense.
Yeah, it was like almost like she was making fun of it at times. That's what I mean. By subverting everything that we've been told as fans of The Mandalorian, it's like, well, this is the way. This is what we do. We keep our helmets on. We do the things that we don't want to do just because that's the way.
Yep.
And she's like, this is the way.
This is the one.
But then he was like, all right.
About not explaining that until now is we all went along with it. It's like we were brainwashed to follow that crazy old way too by saying this is the way, and now all of us have the revelation. Oh no, it's like almost a conflict in some ways. You're like, oh crud, do I want to be a child of the Watch or do I want to be with the actual Mandalorian?
Right. Yeah.
Well, big picture, it paves the way for a lot of character development. And that brings me back to the bogus, in my opinion, leaks about arguments on the set and yada yada because I'm like, clearly now there's a window, there's a chance for him to take off his helmet. Yeah. Join the what are they called again?
Bo-Katan.
Join Bo-Katan. What's the name of their group? Or
Mandalorians, I'd say.
Just the Mandalorians, the current Mandalorians.
Mandalorians.
They have a T-shirt, The Mandalorians.
Right.
They
come out with another season or another show called The Mandalorian. It's not The Mandalorian.
This isn't the way.
This is not
like old English.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Mandalorian. So
it's like King Arthur, but with Star Wars.
But I think it's all good. I think, and then they were like, I knew they said that they were going to maybe veer off a little bit of the Mando. I kind of believe that now because now that Bo-Katan's here, we could put our Mandalorian aside for a little while, find out what's going on in the rest of the universe, jump into Ahsoka, watch an episode with Ahsoka and the child, and maybe meet Luke. I don't know.
All right.
I don't care. You know, there's so many avenues now that they could take by just them opening up Ahsoka and Bo-Katan in this episode.
Yeah. I don't think they're really going to lead the Mandalorian. I think we're going to continually learn things through his eyes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I mean, they could. I guess they could. But in a way, it'd almost be smarter if they just started a whole new show.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
True.
But I think we're going to learn most everything that we're going to need to learn through fresh eyes through the Mandalorian. But that's how we've kind of learned everything so far as the seasons progressed. And I cannot wait for him to meet Ahsoka. And for his mind, hopefully, to be blown, with the Force, Baby Yoda. I mean, that's going to be cool. I just want to see how they're going to introduce Ahsoka. Is it going to be? We haven't seen any promotional material. I think pretty much all the promotional material we've seen so far is up
already
to this
there.
point.
Yeah,
and I think there might be a little bit because we see back on Navarro. They go back to Navarro. So we're gonna see what's their names? Cara Dune and
Greef Karga.
Greef Karga.
You're right. Yeah.
Other than that, we haven't seen anything else, you know.
All right.
Well, and what is this? 8 episodes? So next week would be halfway through this season.
Yeah.
So, you know, this chapter what is it? I say 13 because I'm thinking 3, but that's 11. Really did push the story forward in a really good way. Yeah. We've had sand on Tatooine.
It's rough and coarse.
Then we had
gets everywhere.
A little snowiness the last episode, space and snow. And now here we are on the water. So we got to see some forest, right? We're going to see some forest.
Yeah, or forest.
Because he's going to the forest moon of Corvus.
Yes.
Corvus, yeah.
Or not
Yeah.
Forest Moon, but I think she said
The moon
for-
of- yeah.
moon
I think
of-
you said a forest planet, right? Corvus, or was it
Yeah.
a moon? I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Something like that.
but it's going to be jungle, right? It's got to be. And then I bet you at
It's a
5, it'll probably push through the final 4 of this. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
guessing. We're going to see Ahsoka next episode.
Yes. It'll be
Yeah, I
good.
can't wait.
Yeah, which
I hope they actually show Ahsoka the next episode. I hope he doesn't
Right,
take
yeah.
it too
I
long.
hope it's not like a filler episode and it's like, oh,
or
they're
what
taking
if
a trip
it's-
to get there and they're taking their sweet time about it.
What if it's just her voice? What if it's just Ashley Eckstein's voice on like the comm or something like that?
Oh, I
They
still
could, but I
they
know
still
they
need to
cast
introduce
Rosario
her.
Dawson
Yeah.
as Ahsoka. So
That's
Yeah.
true. But we don't know what we know until we know it, right?
yeah.
true.
Alisan said on YouTube, I wonder if they're going to permanently separate the Mando and child after they reach Ahsoka and move on to other story arcs. I just imagine the show. Without his. I just can't imagine the show without the child.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gonna be rough.
Can't imagine. Yeah, so I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because Ahsoka, that could be her Padawan. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
I mean, it's
Or
got
Ahsoka takes it to Luke, who started a Jedi Academy on another planet.
There you go.
And then good old Ben Solo walks and he's like, "Hey guys!"
Yeah.
Young Ben.
That actually reminds me of a meme.
He's like nerd.
And then Azar Himoto said, "I agree, Alisand. That would break my heart to see them separated." But let's jump over to that meme. Yeah, we don't want to see the Mando or the child
Right.
separated from each other.
Speaking of separated,
Speaking of separated,
I have to go use the refresher. I'll be right back.
here we are. Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, actors make surprise children's hospital visit. Yeah. So we don't want that to happen. We don't want Ben Solo showing up when the child or Mando is I don't know if they drop him off with some Jedi Academy, but you just never know.
Yeah.
De-aging and the technology they have now with by the way, Nick will be back in a few minutes. So, but yeah, when you do de-aging, and I wonder if they're going to do some of that face tracking for Ahsoka. If they use her voice, they could do all kinds of craziness.
Yeah, I've seen some really cool artwork done by people making Rosario Dawson look like Ahsoka. So I'm thinking it's going to be probably something close to that. It'll be interesting to see. That's not going to be an easy look to pull off, to Gruden
Right.
in live action. I think it's been done, but for it to move fluently, especially if she's going to be doing action sequences, like she does in the Clone Wars, which is going to be really hard to see in some ways too. But I think the best way they pull it off, making it that cross between real world and the animated, was with that fight in the last season of Clone Wars, wherever Maul and Ahsoka fought, and they actually CGI, they motion tracked that. So I can see it being something similar to that in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's. I really wonder what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Ahsoka in live action. I think we've all been waiting for this for a long time. If you've ever heard of Ahsoka or watched anything with Ahsoka, she grows on you, and she's just likable, and you can't not want to watch Ahsoka do something awesome.
Yeah, arguably started off arguably as one of the most controversial characters coming out of the prequels, and showing up with Sky Guy and Snips and the whole 9 yards, and then everybody grew to love her as Clone Wars took shape, and she kind of grew up with the show and then everybody fell in love with Clone Wars. Just that show is amazing.
She's like a Luke in a lot of ways when you think about it. I mean, Luke was really annoying in episode 4. I want to go to TIE station and get some power converters.
Yeah, so was Anakin. Anakin was quite annoying as a child. They're all annoying. The child is a little annoying. No, just kidding.
Yeah, there has to be room for growth. Otherwise, you get a Mary Sue. Otherwise, you get somebody who's uninteresting because they never fail. Because they never do anything wrong. They never do anything annoying. There has to be a spot where they start from and a spot that they get to. And man, she progressed of all. I mean, we've had the longest time watching her progress, I think, than even Luke, Anakin, because it was a long format series. And she's been in 2 series now, and now she's going to be in 3. So it's awesome to see that.
Yeah. I agree.
How was the refresher?
What are we talking about? I mean, I've been here the
was
whole
good.
time, but
I just realized I could have blacked out
Yeah.
his screen the whole time.
Ah,
We could play Peekaboo.
right. Woo, peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
Which one's going to show up
Peekaboo.
next? Who knows?
No, but it's true. And then I wonder, let's go into a little speculation, then we'll call it. Rebels left off at this point, basically. Did it not?
Which one?
Rebels, the Rebels ended with Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah. It ended with, so my wife
With
and I ended up watching
Sabine.
the end of Rebels.
Did you? Okay, we'll go into that. Yeah, because there's a lot of speculation as to what could happen, who could come in, and what's plausible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, how Rebels ended was Sabine and Ahsoka coming together. Ahsoka came in her cool Jedi consularship and basically is picking up Sabine to go find Ezra, I believe. I believe that was their mission, is to go find Ezra. And Ezra Bridger, if you haven't watched Rebels, he's another Jedi who came up. He's really similar in a lot of ways to Luke's and Leia's age. So he's really close in age with them. And he had a whole story, through Rebels, which is fantastically done. Go watch Rebels if you haven't watched it.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting. They could find Ezra. She could even refer, the Mandalorian to Ezra, or maybe they haven't found him yet. Because the other thing I don't know is how much time after Return of the Jedi are Ahsoka and Sabine going to look for Ezra? Are they still on their hunt for Ezra? What's going on? That's the tricky
Exactly. Are they going to reference that if they run into Ahsoka? Can
I hope
Mando
so.
help them?
Right.
What if
Oh.
they run into a blue villain?
Oh.
That's the biggest one that I
Oh.
really
Blue
want to
villain.
see.
Whoa. Bam, 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 bam.
Avatar.
Thrawn,
Right?
bring
Oh my
Thrawn,
gosh.
bring it, Thrawn. All they need to do is they just need to bring Thrawn back. He takes over the Empire, and they just need to basically do the Thrawn trilogy in like a different way.
Yep.
Just retcon all of the sequel trilogy. Say, World Between Worlds, that was just a dream. Who cares a crap anyway? It sucked.
Right.
And
They
let's just
absolutely
go. Let's just go the Thrawn trilogy, man.
Good
Full
old-
speed ahead.
Good old Captain T.H. Ron.
T.H. Ron.
Yeah, man, that would
Bring
be
it.
awesome. I think people would eat that up.
Yeah.
I would love it. I
Well,
mean,
It's just crazy because why or how they did that when they ended Rebels. Rebels takes place before Episode 4.
yeah.
And then they just decided at the very finale, like the last 10 minutes, or like 5 minutes of the series, to show Ahsoka with Sabine, like you said, and the little kid, right?
Well, they showed the little kid with Hera.
with
Yeah.
Harrison Dula. Yeah, that's right. Because anyway,
Jason Dula was his name.
Jason Sindula, right? So they're all out there,
Mm-hmm.
as far as we know. Oh, actually, they are out there. But
They're out
It's just interesting that they left it off there, and now here we are, Mandalorian. All roads lead to the Filoni-verse, and
Right.
maybe Mr. T.H. Ron is going to show up and wreck some shop.
We can only hope.
Oh, my goodness.
My
That would
goodness.
elevate this whole series to a whole nother
Right.
level.
People would be
They
like,
did it
"Oh
right.
my gosh!"
It's like the convergence of like Clone Wars, Rebels. Only Filoni can really do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Because
sure.
he's the apprentice to George
Yeah.
Lucas.
And he brought in Leia. He brought in all those characters. I don't think he brought in Luke in the animated world, but he brought Leia in several times to Rebels, or at least once in Rebels. And there's endless
so
possibilities.
many possibilities. That would probably be the best one.
Oh my goodness, man! And then they could bring in a younger or a Luke, a Leia. I wouldn't care if they recasted it. They were going to do the Thrawn series.
Right.
Bring them all in. Let's do this the right way and
Let's
make it
do
epic.
this.
You can throw in some different story points. You can edit it to fit the universe a little bit more. But if they did that, it would make a crap ton of money, man. You got built-in fan base with the Thrawn trilogy. You're going to add so many new fans with it being a live-action version or movies or whatever they want to do. I mean, honestly, it's just like, it'd be, in some ways, I'm like, how dumb are these people if they don't do that? Like, like come on.
Exactly.
It's right there. It's like, it reminds me of Marvel. Whenever Marvel they have all this material to pick from, and they pick great things, It's like, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's why we enjoy those movies a lot. Do that. You have the material. Do it.
You have the material.
You have the material. Build it.
man. I get excited.
We get excited.
Oh, because we're Star Wars nerds.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's why we could talk an hour and a half easily about this. I mean, we talked probably 10 minutes on non-spoilers.
Yep.
It's pretty quick because this is a spoiler episode. Where versus the last episode, we probably talked for 20 minutes on non-spoilers because there wasn't a lot.
Wasn't a lot as far as the story goes.
Yeah. Story and then greater Star Wars universe. So I mean, spoiler.
The bigger picture.
This is nuts. This is full spoiler. And I don't know what else to say. I just don't. Other than. What an episode. 10 out of 10.
What an episode.
We did have another comment on YouTube.
Oh, we got another comment. Yeah. Okay, Taylor said, hey, stay on... You want to read it? Or I'll read it. Hey, Taylor. Hey, stay on target. I sure hope we get to see Sabine when we see Ahsoka.
Yep.
2 of my favorite characters. Yes.
It'd be awesome.
Good call, Taylor. I hope so, too, because they're together last we saw them.
They've got to do it.
Yeah, it seems like we'd be remiss if we didn't see Sabine, unless Dave Filoni's keeping that, in his pocket for something else,
some later on
Ezra
episode.
Finding story or something like that.
Yeah.
But it seems like this would be the perfect time to do it. If you're gonna do it, you might as well bring them all into this.
And they've got all of us, in their grasp
on the edge of our seats.
On the edge of our seats because. They're not giving out any episode titles ahead of time.
Nope.
They're not even titling the episodes right now when you get on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Or we're like, what was we couldn't remember the title of episode 9, chapter 9, and we're like, and then halfway when we saw the picture, the Marshal.
Yeah.
But they're not. So we don't know what chapter 4, who's going to be in it. We don't have a synopsis of the episode. We don't have a synopsis of anything. So. Sabine is, of course, a Mandalorian, a very powerful one that actually wielded the Darksaber. And so, of all
she
people...
had the Darksaber at one point.
Yeah. And she handed it over to Bo.
Yeah.
Good old Bo.
Yeah, she actually gifted it to Bo.
Yeah.
And Bo was the last person who had it. And that's why it makes perfect sense chronologically, for her to be looking for it. Obviously something happened. That's the mystery. That's the interesting part about all this.
And I'm guessing that with maybe bigger story, the Moff realized that the Mandalorians still had a lot of resources, a lot of weapons. If they were to really try and rebuild the Empire, that's a good place to go. And maybe he went there and took the Darksaber and
Well, I think he was actually a part of the purge of Mandalore. Mm-hmm. I think that's why he knows a lot more about the Mandalorians. I think it happened during the height of the Empire where the purge happened. And because I think the Empire knew that if they don't get the Mandalorians under control, then it's going to be a short-lived war in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think they knew that they had to do something. And I'm wondering if they didn't do a scorched earth type thing on Mandalore like Thrawn did in the Rebels.
Okay, yeah.
Rebels. He had that whole scorched earth type situation going on, and they even talk about it in another book series. No, actually, it's in the video game Battlefront. They Battlefront 2. They actually have a whole scorched earth thing that happens there. So I'm wondering if it's something similar like that. But Bo-Katan obviously knows something that others don't because she's the leader of the Resistance, I guess, when it comes to the Mandalorians. But yeah, fascinating stuff. So I think he was really a part of that, and that's why he knows so much. And now he's going back to that because he knows it, and he wants to use it as a tool to reconquer the universe or the galaxy.
Yeah, and it reminds me of even more like the Germans, the reference there, how they left, they're like, we don't need to worry about the Russians, or they tried to kind of push them away, and then they realized, oh shoot, this is going to be a bigger issue, and then ended up, the Russians are the ones that ended up walking into Berlin and taking it back over before anybody else could. So, and then of course they overlooked the United States of America.
Right. Yes.
The Jedi.
Oh, we got a late edition of World War II. It's the USA.
You can't spread yourself too thin.
Too big for their britches. That was a problem with the Nazis in World War II.
Yep.
So them being crazy zealots that there are. But I believe that there's evil, good will always rise up against it, no matter what. There has to be balance, and the world naturally wants to put out evil.
Even the universe on a universal scale.
Yes.
But it is funny how similar they're following along with the whole World War II Nazis and what's going on with this right now with the Third Reich, the ones that split off.
Yep.
Are still
The
trying
power
to hang
vacuum.
on
Right.
and retake over. They want to retake over.
Yep.
The Nazis didn't end up doing that,
Nope.
but they were trying to. And also, like you were saying though, the Nazis. It's interesting how they were looking for artifacts the whole time. It's like I feel like people still nowadays find crazy artifacts that the Nazis had. They got somehow. He's even like Indiana Jones, the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Not that that's necessarily true,
Right.
but
no
all
one
that
knows
stuff.
where that
That's
is.
what they were going after.
They
were
were.
going after everything.
Yep.
If they thought it was going to give them an advantage, they went for it.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
that's what Moff Gideon's doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's right there. That's crazy. I like the speculation.
I know, right?
There's so many possibilities. And
Give me Thrawn.
Give him Thrawn or give him
Ron.
death.
T.H. Ron.
Oh
gosh.
my goodness. Yeah. Well, we're excited for chapter 12 it is.
Chapter
Eventually it'll be
12.
13, but chapter 12. What do you think? It'll be called The Jedi. No, I don't know. It'll be called
the
So we had the Marshal. Is it going to be another the Marshal?
Well, yeah, I think all of the episodes have been.
It's kind of like our corruption, elimination, preservation.
Yeah.
all the shuns. Shun the non-believers.
Shun.
The non-believer, Charlie.
Shun.
Maybe there's some other formula in there. The Marshal. What was What was the next one?
The passenger. The heiress.
The Heiress.
What would Ahsoka be considered? The outcast?
The Force user, or the
Gray Jedi.
wizard, or the what is he
The
called?
sorcerer.
I was thinking
sorceress or sorcerer.
the outcast,
Yeah.
because she kind of was.
She
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
The
She's
Gray Jedi,
The apprentice,
or the Jedi.
the Jedi.
Yeah. The Last Jedi.
The
Well, she's not considered Jedi.
the
though, so-
wizard.
Yeah, she's not a Jedi. She walked away from the Order. So
Yeah.
maybe she is the Enigma.
The enigma.
What was her call? What was her call name in Rebels?
I almost
Your guess is
harmonized.
as good as mine.
No, it was
Fulcrum.
golly.
Auto-tune.
Fulcrum. Yeah, that's it. Yep, Fulcrum.
The fulcrum.
They could. Filoni
The
could.
tipping point.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
I
know.
mean, it's the middle of the episode. That would make sense in a lot of ways.
Allison.
He's like, dang it, I should have gone with that.
Right? He's like, oh, these guys have such good ideas.
Allison said the Fallen Padawan.
The fallen.
Ooh, that would be good.
The Fallen. That could be.
See, that's why I'm thinking the outcast would work.
Yeah.
The Outcast would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The
wizard. You're a
It's
wizard,
just
Harry.
Well, he called them the
The-
sorcerers, right?
The sorceress. Sorceress?
Yeah, it could be the Sorceress.
Sorceresses?
Well, technically the
The
leader.
Scorseses.
The Scorsese. The leader of that covert said the
Colvit.
sorcerer's named
Yeah.
Jedi or something like that, right?
The
Yeah,
sorcerer.
ancient order of sorcerers.
Yeah.
The stormtrooper.
The Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah,
The
I just can't wait to see it.
Huntress.
I hope they actually show Ahsoka next week. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if he's not going to go back to Navarro first, or maybe she's gonna lead him on the next quest.
Yeah. What is her species called?
The Gruten.
The Gruten.
No, Ta Gruten.
Tagruten. The Tagruten. Das Gruten.
Gruten. Yeah, it
Das
could be
Gruten.
that.
The Tagruten, yeah, could be.
Yeah.
We just have to wait and see.
The
Only 6 more
Togruta.
days.
Yep.
And
This was a great episode. It opened everything up. They needed to go this direction to really rein it in and give us the meat and
The
get us
meat.
going on the next quest. I just can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I'm more excited now than I've been
Yeah.
watching The
Oh, yeah.
Mandalorian.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Taylor just chimed in and said, looks like Carl Weathers is directing the next episode. That should be interesting. Does he do much directing? I don't know that he...
Has he?
I feel like
He probably has.
when I watched Mando Mondays, I think I remember him saying something about
Mondays.
directing.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, he did say something about that.
but I don't think he's directed much. Maybe he has.
Maybe he has.
Maybe
yeah.
smaller side projects. Who knows?
I don't think he's
Did he
known
help
as a
with
director.
Did he help with the Rocky movies?
Maybe.
I don't know. Could have been.
I don't
But
remember.
that's interesting. So if
Yeah.
Carl Weathers is directing, I don't know. Do you think he's going to be in it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like if he's directing this, it's probably going to be Mando going back to Navarro.
You know, it's one of those things though where you think about like people that are acting in the movie also directing, like Mel Gibson and these kinds of people. That's so hard to do. I mean, we made a little fan films and kind of directed, but not really. We were figuring it out and acting in it. That's not as easy as it sounds.
Right, yeah.
It's like, oh, of course he stars in it and he directs it.
Yeah, it's like, I want it to be this way, but then when you act in it, you're like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, you're like screaming at yourself because you're not doing a good enough job acting.
Yeah, you're like, come on.
Right.
Like, this
Break your
sucks.
At least you know what you want to see, though. That is the good thing about directing something that, with you in it.
If you're a main actor, you can carry your vision.
What you're already thinking in your head.
You just got to be a good actor.
Look, I just want it to be like this. Point the camera at me and I'll take care of the rest.
Just keep the camera on my face, right here.
Now, that'll be interesting. If I wonder then if they're still going to go to the forest planet and then maybe they're going to end up on Navarro with him himself.
Yeah.
And
or maybe he's going to
show the shot in the trailer of them walking up as he lands.
Yeah. Maybe he's going to go back to Navarro and get Grief and Cara Dune and then go find Ahsoka.
Oh, that would make sense.
So he's got backup.
It depends on the route.
Yeah, he's going to go fix please fix this ship.
I like that ending sequence.
Calamari.
Yeah. I love that. He was all
gotta be kidding me.
Which is ironic and funny too, because the Mon Calamaris actually build the best starships. I mean, that's what they used in the original trilogy. It was all like Mon Calamari, like huge spaceship.
Dude,
those huge ones were Mon Calamari ones.
Yeah, but the thing's being held together by fishing nets.
I know that Mon Calamari sucked at it.
Yeah, right. He's like,
I
can make it fly.
And the running trope of like parts just flying off the ship.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was
every
great.
time, just like pieces of it falling everywhere.
The very end, he just goes into hyperspace, and there's this like panel that just is left behind.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's just again, like you said, Dustin, the attention to detail.
Yeah.
Even in that, like it made me laugh at the end. I was like, of course, it's gonna be another piece.
Oh my gosh,
just floating in space.
What was the point of all like the nets and stuff on the inside? I mean, I can understand the outside.
It's like, I'm holding it together with string.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, and also, like, did you see it take off? It's just like, I was like, this thing's gonna fall apart.
And then the little squid thing that fell in it, or whatever.
It was like a starfish
trying to eat the child.
Thing.
Or at least
is that like a baby one of the creature that tried eating?
Probably.
Maybe.
I think the best part about that one was the perspective of that as it looked at the child.
Yeah.
You got that
all the
shot.
eyes.
The 8 like fish or the fly eyes. Like, that was probably the best part of. See, I love when directors and people do that. They give you some unique perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
that you're not expecting. So
yeah.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps up that.
Yeah, on that bombshell.
On that bombshell.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anything else you want to say about that?
Boba Cat.
No, fantastic episode. Loved how they did everything in this episode. Yeah. It was so well done. From sweet moments to awesome action to furthering the lore to getting us on track to make this show 10 times better than it's already been, which is already amazing. It just, the possibilities now and your imagination are running wild, and I just can't wait to see what they actually do. And I'm excited for next week's episode.
Yeah, me too.
100%. Spoiler alert is off. So that's
where'd it go?
We can't talk about anything else ever again. Chapter 10.
Spoiled.
Chapter 10. Chapter 12 next time.
Chapter 12 next time.
Chapter 12, yeah. It'll be a good one. And we're excited you joined us here today. This is the part of the show where we just stare at each other because we don't know what else to say because we've said it all. But thank you for joining us, watching online, listening on the podcast, and just tuning in and enjoying this show with us and Star Wars and watching our videos and, support and stay on target as we do what we do and continue to do what we do.
Yeah.
And get excited about Star Wars stuff and sit around and talk about it.
Yes. It is grand. It is great.
If you haven't watched our Lego build of the Millennium Falcon time-lapse, you're going to want to check that one out. We've been posting more videos weekly, the non-spoiler reviews, and different things to try and, keep people entertained more than just this big, long 2-hour show that we do once a week. So, but as long as Mando's coming out, we'll be sitting here talking about it. So whether or not we're in person or through the interwebs beaming in.
Yes.
As long as there's breath in our lungs. Give me Thrawn.
Give me Thrawn. Or give me death.
Yeah, and stay tuned for some more funny content on the way.
Yeah, there's plenty more where that came from.
Plenty more.
All right. Well, let's get out of here on that
Let's
bombshell.
get out of here.
Yeah, we got this. We played this clip, right?
Hey, Justin's gone.
I can't maneuver.
Stay on target.
We're too close.
Stay on target.
Loosen up.
Oh, that
classic.
Classic. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Next time. Is the music playing?
No, there's no music.
Oh, wow. This is awkward.
All right. Bye now.
See you later.